$12,749 buys you Tesla's cheapest car. One pothole could cost you $15,000 to fix. Now that's not a typo. One undercarriage impact and you're replacing the entire structural battery pack that forms the vehicle's floor. Tesla fused 70-plus parts into single aluminum castings. Brilliant for cutting costs. Catastrophic when cracked because you can't weld aluminum back. You replace the whole module. Is this why insurance companies raise Tesla premiums 14%? Here's what shocks the industry. The same engineering that made this car affordable made it the least repairable Tesla ever built. What happens when repair costs exceed the car's value? Look, I spent 3 weeks trying to understand how Tesla got to this price point. What I found kept me up at night. Traditional car manufacturing welds together 4,500 to 5,000 individual parts. Every single weld is a potential weak point where rust starts creeping in. Tesla looked at that and said, forget it. Their Geiger casting smashes the entire front structure into one aluminum piece in 90 seconds using a 9,000-ton press. Same for the rear. That's 70 parts per section just gone. When I first saw leaked factory footage, I thought this is genius. This is how they build 500,000 units annually while cutting costs in half. Then I talked to a body shop owner in Austin. He showed me what happens when you try to repair these castings. Aluminum can't be welded once it cracks. The metal loses 60% of its strength the moment it fractures. Your local guy who fixed your Camry's front end for $2,800? He can't touch Model 2. Physically impossible. The whole module gets replaced. Tesla charges $3,200 to $4,100 for the part, plus $1,800 to $2,400 labor. You're staring at $5,000 to $6,500 total. That's 40% of what you paid for the entire car. Insurance companies figured this out fast. Tesla premiums jumped 8 to 14% specifically because of these repair costs. But the cars aren't less safe. They're actually safer. That rigid structure performs better in crash tests. You walk away from accidents that would have hurt you before. But your insurance company picks up that $6,000 bill, so they raised your rates. Under 12 miles per hour, you only damage bolt-on modules costing $280 to $420. Actually cheaper than traditional repairs. Above 18 miles per hour, the impact hits main structure and costs explode. Tesla is betting most buyers either avoid accidents or only have fender benders. This is where Tesla pushed further than anyone else would dare. The battery isn't sitting in the car, it is the floor. Tesla eliminated the entire frame underneath and made the battery pack hold everything up. This cuts 200 components and saves $1,200 to $1,800 per vehicle. Brilliant engineering, terrifying for your wallet. One serious undercarriage hit means replacing the entire battery assembly. That's $12,000 to $15,000. More than you paid for the car. I live in Texas and hit a pothole last month so deep it bent my wheel. America's infrastructure ranks 13th globally. Our roads are falling apart. The average driver hits 3 to 5 serious hazards yearly that could damage the undercarriage. With my old Honda, I damaged the exhaust once. Cost $1,200. Annoying but manageable. With Model 2's structural battery, that same hit could cost $15,000. Tesla cut 40% of parts compared to Model 3. Fewer parts means fewer things break. But when something does break, you're replacing entire systems. Only Tesla service centers can do it. You're locked into their pricing, their schedule. I spoke with a Tesla engineer off the record. He told me they're gambling the battery's protection will deflect most road hazards instead of absorbing them. Titanium shields protect critical areas. In theory, rocks bounce off. But that word theory bothers me. We won't know if this works until 2033 when enough Model 2s have serious miles. You and I are the test group. My neighbor's 2018 Civic cost $28,000. Today it's worth $14,000. He lost half his money in 6 years while spending $9,400 yearly keeping it running. Over 10 years, that's $94,000 just maintaining a depreciating asset. Model 2's 10-year cost is $26,429 total. His Civic costs $56,000. That's $30,000 in savings. But here's where I lost sleep. One bad accident in year 3, one construction zone disaster in year 5, one $15,000 battery replacement wipes out half your savings instantly. Your advantage drops from $30,000 to $15,000. 2 incidents and the entire benefit disappears. Tesla isn't lying. The math genuinely works if nothing goes wrong. But when something catastrophic happens, everything collapses. You're buying incredible operational savings with catastrophic repair exposure. That's not automatically bad, but you better understand that's the deal. Tesla's unboxed assembly cuts production time from 20 hours to 10 hours per vehicle. That efficiency enables the $12,749 price. But they bond modules using aerospace adhesive from SpaceX that withstands 20,000 pounds per square inch. Once bonded, you cannot separate them without destroying both pieces. A Houston mechanic explained it simply, that $300 repair becomes a $3,000 module replacement. Every repair is all or nothing. Tesla eliminated panoramic glass, saving $670 while improving insulation 22%. No LED light bar saves $235. Simplified LEDs save $480. Manual seats instead of power save $360. Single-pane windows hit 70 decibels at highway speed versus Model Y's 65. That's Honda Accord level. Not luxury silent, but most won't notice. What strikes me is what Tesla kept. Structural castings, advanced thermal management, 12-year, 200,000-mile warranty, butterfly doors with real orthopedic benefits. Anything aesthetic got cut. This tells me who Tesla built this for. My father is 67 with a herniated disc. Getting in his Silverado causes genuine pain every time. Traditional doors force you to bend 15 to 19 inches while twisting 35 to 40 degrees. For 64% of Americans over 65 with arthritis, that hurts. 6 times daily equals 2,000 painful movements yearly. Model 2's butterfly doors open upward. Door sill sits 6.7 inches off the ground, 50% lower than Model Y. You step in, keep your back straight, lower into the seat. Orthopedic surgeons confirm this reduces lumbar spine force by 70%. Model X's Falcon wings cost $2,800 to $4,500 to repair with 12 motors per door. Model 2 uses one mechanical hinge with gas struts. Replacement takes 20 minutes and costs $120. You need just 11 inches of side clearance. Those impossible Costco spots become manageable. I tested a prototype and climbed out easily while the guy next to me struggled through an 8-inch gap. Tesla promises 355 to 370 miles at highway speed. EPA tested. Phoenix to San Diego on one charge, but drops to 210 miles in Minnesota winter at 15 degrees. Every EV loses 25 to 30% range in severe cold. Physics, not Tesla's fault. Research shows 73% of trips for Americans over 60 are under 35 miles. You're charging weekly. Gas costs $60 to $70 weekly. Model 2 charging costs $8 to $11. Supercharger takes 18 minutes from 10% to 80%. Over 2,100 locations nationwide. Satellite imagery shows Tesla installing identical equipment at Texas, Shanghai, and Berlin simultaneously, launching hundreds of thousands of vehicles within weeks across 3 continents. Never attempted at this scale. When production ramps this fast everywhere, small problems multiply before anyone catches them. Traditional automakers spend 18 to 24 months testing. Tesla compressed this to under 12 months. Model Y took 13 months from setup to deliveries. If nothing goes wrong, Model 2 could start August to November 2026. Early Model 3 buyers dealt with panel gaps and chaos for months. The first 10,000 units are essentially final testing. You're paying $12,749 to be part of that test. You're betting $12,749 up front on saving $30,000 over 10 years. But betting you won't have that one catastrophic accident requiring $15,000 battery replacement. Someone with clean 20-year driving record in a state with decent highways probably takes that bet. Someone with multiple accidents or terrible roads might think twice. This car works brilliantly until it doesn't. When it doesn't, Consequences are severe. That's the truth Tesla won't advertise. So here's what it all comes down to. That $15,000 repair isn't a bug in Tesla's plan. It's the calculated cost of making electric vehicles actually affordable for regular Americans. They're forcing the entire industry to choose. Keep building cars everyone can maintain, or start building cars everyone can afford to buy and operate. Tesla chose the second path. Whether that's revolutionary or reckless depends entirely on your driving history and risk tolerance. This is bigger than one vehicle. Ford, GM, and Volkswagen are watching Tesla's unboxed manufacturing process because it's the only pathway to mass-market EVs under $15,000. If Model 2 succeeds despite these repair risks, every automaker will copy this approach within 3 years. If it fails, we're stuck with $35,000 entry-level EVs for another decade. August 2026 isn't just Model 2's launch date. It's the test that determines whether electric vehicles become transportation for everyone or remain toys for the wealthy. And this is just the beginning. Tesla's already developing Model 2 variants for commercial fleets and ride-sharing services where high mileage and low downtime matter more than repair costs. The technology either proves itself or gets abandoned. What's your breaking point? Would you risk that $15,000 repair exposure to save $30,000 over 10 years? Drop your honest answer below because I'm genuinely curious where people draw that line. This is Tesla Zone, and we break down the engineering truth behind the headlines. If you want more analysis that actually explains what these companies aren't telling you, you know where to find us. The EV revolution isn't waiting for perfect solutions. It's happening with compromised ones, whether you're ready or not. Tesla just pulled something that's hitting senior Model Y owners hard, and the damage is already done. Your 2026 sticker might be hiding 20 months of actual age difference from the next 2026 on the lot. Early 2025 deliveries and late 2026 builds both wear the same label, but when you sell, the market sees them as identical twins. How does this crush your resale value? Depreciation that normally drops $1,500 to $2,500 per year just became unpredictable across a nearly 2-year span. Seniors who bought early could lose thousands more than late buyers. Same sticker, different loss. Is your 2026 already older than it looks? Welcome to Auto Gear Shift, where we cut through the Tesla hype and focus on what actually affects your wallet in daily life. No fancy promises, just real ownership costs and what happens when you try to sell. Subscribe and hit that bell. Let's get to 21,111 subscribers who value honesty over marketing. Look, I've been tracking Tesla production cycles for years, and what they're doing with the 2026 Model Y is honestly unprecedented. The VIN code T26 could stay active all the way into late 2026. That's a 20 to 22-month production run for a single model year. Most car companies would never dare stretch things this far, and there's a good reason why. For Tesla's factories, this is genius. Keep the lines running, avoid expensive retooling, maximize efficiency. I get it. The company needs to control costs and scale production. But here's what nobody at Tesla seems to be asking. What happens to the person who bought in January 2025 when they try to sell in 2028? Think about it this way. You walk into a used car lot and see 2 Model Y vehicles, both labeled 2026. One left the factory in January 2025. The other rolled out